Alright guys, what is going on, and welcome back to the Bit of Footy YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to be running through my round 15 tips. Yes, 15 tips for the 2025 AFL Premiership season. I can't believe it's round 15, but it is. But yeah, before we take a look at my round 15 tips, let's take a look and see how I did back in round number 14. Alright, as you can see on the screen right here in round number 14, I got a total of 4 out of 7 tips, which was in the bottom 34%. Shock, I'm shit at tipping. The tips I got incorrect were the Adelaide tip, the Lions tip, and the D's tip. I mean, the Adelaide tip I only just got incorrect. The Lions tip, they were coming back but still lost, and then the D's tip, Port Adelaide just, you know, were dominant in that second half. So yeah, that currently has me in 21st spot in my own tipping comp, and I'm on a total score of 74 points. In first spot again is Mr. Ray White, who got 6 out of 7 tips last round and is on a total score of 89 points. But yeah, let's not waste any more time. Let's take a look and see what my tips are for round number 15. Yes, 15 of the 2025 AFL Premiership season. Alright, we kick it off tonight at Optus Stadium for the game between Freo and the Bombers. The Dockers are coming off a just win, a 6-point win over North Melbourne last round, and well, the Bombers, they're coming off a 95-point loss to the hands of the Cats. So there you go. Yeah, I feel like the Dockers should be winning this one. The Dockers are in some decent form at the moment. They've won 3 in a row, I believe. Yes, they didn't play well against North Melbourne last week, but they still got the job done, and sometimes that's just what needs to happen. So yeah, I feel like they will beat the Bombers this round. Hopefully the Bombers are more competitive than they were against the Cats, and we have a good Thursday night game. But either way, I'm going to be tipping the Dockers in this one by a margin of 22 points over the Bombers. Then we move on to the Friday night game for Geelong taking on the Lions at GMHBA Stadium. The Cats are coming off a 95-point win over the Bombers. The Lions are coming off an 11-point loss to the hands of the Giants. Should be a ripping contest, this one. And I feel like it's going to be high scoring, because normally at the Cattery it is a high scoring affair. Well, from what I've seen when I've been there. But yeah, I feel like it should be a decent contest. You know, the Cats are in some ripping form. The Lions, they almost came back and won that one against the Giants, but the Giants were too good in the end. So yeah, should make for a good contest. Normally is between these two as well. But I feel like at home, the Cats will get the job done just by a margin of 8 points over the Lions. Then we move on to the Saturday game. So we're going to kick it off at the MCG for the game between Carlton and North Melbourne. Carlton are coming off a 34-point win over the West Coast Eagles. North Melbourne are coming off a devastating 6-point loss to the hands of the Dockers. I think Carlton will win this game. I feel like North Melbourne, though, will be majorly competitive in this one. They were so competitive in that game against the Dockers. They were coming back, they were charging back, but the Dockers got over the line in the end in that one by a margin of 6 points. But yeah, North Melbourne, they should feel proud, and I know, you know, it's not about like these competitive losses anymore for them, but you know, they really gave it a shot in that game, and they were down by like 20 plus points at 3/4 time as well. I don't think they're going to be good enough to beat the Blues though in this game. It's at the MCG, which is going to make it harder for them. And you know, we all saw what happened on the Good Friday game. The Blues absolutely dominated. I don't think it will be as big of a margin in this one, but I still feel like the Blues will get up by 26 over North in this game. Then we move on to the twilight game on the Saturday. We've got Port Adelaide taking on the Swans. Port Adelaide are coming off a 25-point win over the D's. The Swans, well, they're coming off a bye, so they're feeling fresh coming into this game. Well, the Power, they're in some decent form at the moment, and they're playing this game at home, so I am going to be tipping them to win this one. I do feel like it's going to be a very good, tightly contested game of footy. Normally is when the Swans play against someone. So yeah, I do think it's going to be very tightly contested, this one. But the way that the Power are playing at the moment, I can just see them getting the job done in this one. In a decent game of footy, I'm going to be tipping the Power by a margin of 13 points over the Swannies. And then we move on to the last game on the Saturday night. It is my Pies coming back from a bye, taking on the Saints, who are coming off a 72-point loss to the hands of the Bulldogs. Yeah, I'm going to be tipping my Pies in this one. We're coming into this game off a bye, but prior to the bye, we've been playing some decent footy. Yeah, I do feel like the Saints, though, they'll be a lot more competitive than they were against the Dogs last round when they lost by a margin of 72 points. So yeah, I'm going to be tipping us by a margin of 23 points over St Kilda. Then we move on to the 2 Sunday games, and we kick it off with the game of the round. That's what they're calling it. I don't know who they are, but that's what they are calling it. We've got GWS taking on the Gold Coast Suns. Now, both of these teams are actually playing pretty decently this season, so I feel like it should be somewhat a decent game of footy and a decent expansion cup. Can't even say expansion. So yeah, it should make for a decent one, but it is at NG Stadium, which leads me to believe that the Giants should win. But going off what they've produced this season, I'm not sure. They lost at Canberra to the Power. They lost at NG Stadium to the Dockers, so you just never know. But I feel like the Giants will be too good for the Suns in this one. I don't really remember the last time the Suns, when it was the last time the Suns beat the Giants, but I don't know what the record is for that, but I feel like the Giants should win in this one, so I'm going to be backing them in by a margin of 27 over the Suns. And then the last game of the round, we've got the Western Bulldogs taking on Richmond to close things out, 3:20 p.m. on the Sunday at Marvel Stadium. The Dogs, well, they're coming off a 72-point win over the hands of the Saints, so they're obviously feeling very confident coming into this game, and they are playing the Tigers, who, well, they're coming off a bye, so who knows what could happen. But the Dogs, Jesus, they looked very, very scary last round. They won by a margin of 72 points. They had Sam Darcy back, who I think had 19 disposals. As a forward, by the way, that is crazy. 19 disposals and kicked 3 goals, and he was coming back from an injury. So he is just incredible. Can we just all agree Sam Darcy, incredible? I think he is. Yeah, I'm going to be backing the Dogs in this one, obviously. I'm going to be backing them in by a margin of 51 points over the Tigers in this one to complete round number 15. Yeah, those are my tips done and dusted for this round of footy. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you for another video very soon. Cheers.